I think there needs to be a consideration about what does it look like for, rural households. Maybe it's fuel switching away from oil towards biomass. Maybe it's looking at things like distributed energy systems that heat the school and the community center so that these places can stay open. So it's quite a different context, I would say, in northern or rural areas than it is for some of the urban, dense, even suburban areas where community energy plants have begun popping up in Ontario. So our team can help with energy inventories. So that really kind of looking through energy bills and electricity and fleet and all of those fun things to determine an energy use of particularly the municipal corporate emissions. But increasingly we're interested in looking at residential and broader community emissions inventories. So once we have an understanding of the energy use, we then use a carbon accounting tool to understand how that kind of energy use then is understood as emissions, carbon and other greenhouse gas emissions. They're thinking about how can we reduce our emissions, how can we reduce our energy use, how can we be less reliant on the grid and maybe look at some distributed energy resources, but also how can our decisions we make about infrastructure, building and facilities management today, how can they also be ready to take on the challenges of a changing climate? So it's really, I think for me, community energy planning has been, like I mentioned before, about that technical aspect, but really about listening to what the municipal needs are at that time, how we can make it work with the planning opportunities that they have going on right now, and then finally trying to bring additional resources to meet the gap that might exist within their own human resources, and to say, we're gonna bring in some speakers who have expertise on this area and can kind of help you with that, and then we can help you maybe try to implement it in the regional context.